The third one that she made is this one. A shorter version of the dress, still with a little bit of an offset, the normal 3/4 inch offset on the hem. Kept the center front seam and center back seam, but this time just did not put the sleeves in. This is in a red French terry. She learned some things here, though, at the arm's eye that are important. You need to take a look at the shape of this and the size of an arm's eye before you really cut this out. It's part of your pattern work. She realized after it was made that this was a pretty big armhole, and for a sleeveless garment it was just too open. So she did some correction on it. But I want to talk about bindings sort of in general. So there is a formula that we've talked about before for, like Deb did on hers, a single neck binding. For the single neck binding, you're going to use this 7/8 ratio to compute the length of your binding. So a binding for the neck is always going to be smaller than the circumference of the neck, and you know that ahead of time, and you're going to cut your binding and sew the ends of the binding together so you're working in the round. But when I'm working on arm's eyes, I'm not doing the calculation there. I cut a strip that is longer than the circumference of the arm's eye, several inches longer, 5-6 inches longer. And then I start applying it about right here, mid arm's eye. And I put the binding 1-to-1 ratio. The end of the binding is down here, but I start sewing up here. And I'm 1-to-1 ratio for a good 2/3 of the arm's eye. But when I start applying it down here on the lower parts, now I'm drawing it up. So it draws it up. And I'm doing that just by my eye. There's no way to really, I don't think, mathematically calculate that. So then once I have figured that out, I can connect my binding at the bottom. Now I see here she's done something different, but I think this is because she did alter this. She does have a seam that continues into the binding. My guess is she did that because she made this smaller after the fact, after she put the dress on. But now she knows, and the next time she makes the sleeveless version of this, she'll know to calculate, change her pattern, draw it smaller, and all of that.